Hi, good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever it may be to you at this time. This is Patricia from Patricia's Potpourri, and as you know, you may get previous episodes of Patricia's Potpourri on YouTube. But today, I'm so lucky. I have an extraordinary, your son uses a word. What was that word?
He says I'm extra.
Our extra special guest today, and that is Shelly Monique Whitfield. Good. Everything.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure meeting you and being able to interview you. Who is Shelly Monique Whitfield?
Oh, well, Shelly Monique Whitfield is an educator. I would have to say a veteran educator for the past 30 years. I'm also a parent and an aspiring author and speaker.
So, author. Could you tell me the name of your book?
Okay, right now I'm currently in the process of writing my personal memoirs. I'm calling it Memoirs of an Educated Black Diva, 13.
And what type of things would what is your profession again?
Okay, I'm an educator.
And what would these memoirs include?
Okay, well, my memoirs, I want to talk about my experiences as an African American educator in the New York City Department of Education.
Oh.
Okay, and being a parent and a leader in the community, etc.
Now, lots of people talk about the difficulties they have as an African American in the Department of Education. Have you experienced anything that was difficult?
Oh, have I? Okay, currently I'm experiencing some very serious problems as a veteran teacher.
What do you mean by veteran teacher?
When I say veteran teacher, I have 30 years of experience in the Department of Education. I'm considered a master teacher. I'm in the principal's candidate pool and an aspiring administrator because of my years of service and experience as an educator.
So you're on the administrative level, and are you doing administrative work at this time?
Well, currently I'm not. Currently, I would just be
What is the block? What is the block?
Well, the biggest problem is
after 30 years of experience.
Well, after 30 years of experience, yeah, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it has to do with who you know. Okay, not what you know, and that's the sad part. I'm calling my book "Educated Black Diva 13" because I want to talk about some of these things. I want to talk about the experiences that I have encountered. Okay, I want to share my experiences with other people to help. Prospective educators, people who are coming forth and, they want to give. I came into the Department of Education with a pure heart. I had so much to give, okay? And unfortunately, I was disappointed to find out that the education, early childhood, etc., is not really as pure as one would think.
I think we had a conversation about something similar to that not too long ago, and I grew up in Harlem, 115th Street, where there was a politician named Hulan Jack, and I saw there was some type of political corruption that was coming. But I think I always wanted to be a teacher. That was always in my heart. But then my father was trying to push me to be a doctor, and somebody else, Mom, to be a lawyer. But I saw the corruption that could happen in law, especially a prosecutor, which is a paid liar, but and different type of things. But I understand what you mean, that you thought, and then I realized I thought education was pure too. I thought it was going to be a purer form where it wouldn't be political, it wouldn't be who you know or whatever. And I was a teenager when I started realizing the who you knows and what you knows and whatever. Tell me about some of those things that happened to you.
Well, growing up as a child, I always had the natural ability. I'm the oldest of 6 children. My mother was a struggling single parent, and I always had the opportunity to work with children, and I was pretty good at it. So I think from a very young age, I thought that I was going to go directly into a field that incorporated children and the learning of children, education, etc. However, I'm 30 years in, and I have to say it's been a struggle all the way. I'm surprised I'm even here after 30 years, but I stuck it out, and I tried to overlook a lot of things. But now that I'm coming to the end of my road in my career as an educator, I'm just facing some things that I just cannot overlook, and that is the fact that, I am writing about the administrative piece. I have my licenses as an administrator, and I'm being basically blocked. It's a personal thing because I have so much to offer, not only to children one-on-one, but to families and communities, just because of my experiences. And I'm watching in the Department of Education, it seems like there's been a whole turnaround where the experienced educator is no longer facilitated. It seems like the older you get and the more experience you have now, they're more concerned with business aspects about paying you top salary as opposed to utilizing your expertise to educate children.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you would look on previous episodes of Patricia's Potpourri, you'll see an episode with Mary O'Brien, who has been a teacher. She was a school librarian for very, very long.
I know Mary.
Yes,
of course.
Brilliant at SUNY Graduate Center. When I was working on my PhD, she gave me a manuscript to take into my class. And my Professor Zuss, who I'll never forget, who was an extraordinary man, he asked me about her. Where did you get this manuscript? It was St. Catherine's manuscript. We did the history of books. And it was Mary O'Brien who had so much to offer, because she was on top salary. She was beat down. And I met a teacher that I worked with not too long ago in the elevator.
How old was she when she retired?
I won't touch that one with Mary's age. Okay, but...
But I'm saying she was up there over 50 or
over 60,
right,
over 70,
right,
over 60.
And you would
baby.
think that you would be considered an icon.
But you know what? Age is not respected in the Department of Education as it is in other cultures.
Right.
Okay? But I know that you have a lot to offer children, but not only did you offer them the education, you offered them the discipline and the talent. Tell me about something about your background with discipline. I know that you also have a background which students would have learned about discipline.
Well, I worked in law enforcement. I was a correction officer before I was an educator. I've also been in the military. Okay, I did extensive work in the military, and I think that's where I get my discipline from. I think that I come to the table with a lot of experiences that most educators don't have. I have some unique qualities that bring me to the table as a disciplinarian. But even more so than that, I'm a cultured person. I'm talented in dance particularly, so I have some strong skills in cultural arts. And that comes across when I work with the children. I like to build their confidence. I like to teach them discipline, but I like to teach it to them in a way where they enjoy learning it. Okay, they're enjoying dancing. They're enjoying the art. I don't think there's enough of that in the black communities. I don't think that we're offering the children. A lot of the schools are taking the money out of the school and taking music, art with them. Okay, and these are the things that make children feel good about themselves and that helps them to shine, when maybe they're not the best reader or the best, math person. I have a story to tell about math, but I can tell you right now, at the end of the day, if you make a child or encourage a child, I don't like that word make, if you encourage a child to feel good about themselves, no matter what, that show them that they have something to offer, that they do have some strengths.
And it doesn't have to be
And
academic.
it doesn't have to be academic. A lot of times, our children, particularly, you don't want to limit them and say they can't do and they can't do. But at the end of the day, some of us come to the table with skills in all areas, and others of us are just blessed that we have a music talent or a dance talent or a vocal talent. And I think that as educators, if we don't explore those parameters and we just keep hitting the kids with academia, and if they're not good at it, they start to feel that they don't want to be engaged. They don't want to be engaged. So as the true educator finds what makes a child tick. And if you find that they're good at something and you're not offering that in your array of engagement, then you're going to lose that child. So I've learned throughout my career that a lot of children open up to things in the arts. They open up to music. They open up to dancing. They open up to culture.
Art.
That's right. They open up to certain things, and particularly the arts. So I've learned to use it because it's a talent and skill of mine, and it's something that worked for me in my life. When I was a kid, I remember the joy that I found in learning was when I figured out that I'm a good dancer. Hey, wow, I'm a good dancer. And you know what? And I enjoyed that. I got my parents put me in dancing school, and it's something that never left my spirit. It was a special feeling, and that's what I want to bring back to the children. I watch them when they're on stage, they shine. The child who only knows how to pull the curtain, they feel good about that, okay? That's how you meet children.
I remember one time we had a program. Well, I did a lot of plays in class, and kids who could or were reluctant to read, when they had a play, a script in front of them, they were reading, and they were becoming familiar with words that maybe you are really familiar with lots of words in your mind, but you may not connect the verbal word with the written lexicon. So therefore, you are able to really enrich, and that's why I believe in programs like art programs, drama programs, things like in which you are doing. It really enriches a student.
Well, true learning comes from an array of experiences. It's not one thing. It's never just at the blackboard or just sitting with a book. It's never just that. We all learn in different ways, and we, as educators, the better educators, learn how to teach out of the box, so to speak. Okay, we take whatever it takes to build the child's self-esteem and confidence.
Excuse me. No. You say the best educators teach out of the box. It seems like, and from my experiences, they want the cookie cutter approach. They want the Stepford teacher type approach. They wanted you all to have those pointy shoes and those puffy hairdos, and everybody kind of goose step into the classroom.
Well, what's lacking in the classroom today is that we're not able to step out of the box like we need to, okay? And children get that, so that when a teacher such as myself volunteers her time after school to share her professional expertise in cultural arts, that's big, okay?
Because every child is not learning inside that box.
Absolutely. And not only that, everything is not about money. At the end of the day, I've been criticized. People's like, oh, you're a senior teacher. You have time to be staying after school with these children. Well, you know what? I made time. I made time because I saw that it was something important to the children, okay? And I haven't forgotten that that's why I'm there. I'm there to make a difference with the children, okay? It's not about the staff. It's really not about, it's good if you get along with the staff and the staff loves you for what you do. I've always been loved. I've worked all over the school, the Department of Education. I've worked all over the place. But at the end of the day, when you come to a certain problems I'm reaching over here, it's unbelievable, what I'm going through. I'm volunteering after school to teach the children and prepare them for the annual Black History performance. I've gotten so much flack over the 4 years that I've done the program, you wouldn't believe it. It's like, it's really more about destroying me more than the children, I think.
That's ridiculous.
But they're using the children because For the past 3 years, I've been doing Motown Magic, exposing the children to the artists from Motown and teaching them the history and that type of thing. That's been fabulous. And no one can say it's never a fabulous, it's always a fabulous show. However, if you would see the negativity as opposed to, oh, you can't use the auditorium. Oh, this and that. The microphone went missing this year. You know, excuse my phone. The microphone went missing. No one wanted to, support. So I ended up there by myself with the kids. But you know what? I handled it. I had like 300 kids come to me for audition. Out of the 300, I picked almost a half, the 150 kids. 150 kids, and just me. Okay, in the auditorium. But you know what? Again, I'm disciplined. I'm able to make it happen. I'm able to make it work. And, this is the first year that I was given any recognition. I had to ask for a letter of recognition. I received it because I asked. But I'm on my fourth year.
But wait a minute. You went to administrative school, and so did I. And that was one of the first things that we learned when a teacher did something like that. Write a thank you letter to their files so that, you would, to show the appreciation you had for the extra effort in which they put out.
This is why I'm calling my book Educated Black Diva 13. I'm calling it Diva because I feel that it's not that I think I'm cute or I think I'm special, but I think that I'm courageous. I think I'm courageous, and that's the reason why I'm using diva. Because
and you know what, Shelley, is clarifying that word, because I've always had a negative connotation of the word diva, and maybe because of people who have used that word in front of me. But however, when
in an inappropriate context,
and when she explained what diva meant to her, and this goes back to Martin Fromer, Queens College professor, who taught me that it's not in the word, it's how people perceive what the word means.
Right.
And so that is why I'm asking for you for your explanation, so they could understand what the word means to you.
To me, exactly. And what it means to me is that I'm out of the box. I am not your average. I'm not the average teacher who's just coming to work every day to get my paycheck. I'm not the average who, just wants to say I'm a teacher, but I'm really not teaching anything but blackboard or, at the end of the day, I'm giving my heart, I'm giving my passion, I'm giving my soul to these kids by staying after school, okay, by making sure that they're smiling and they're happy when I'm leaving, okay. I work with the kids this year for almost 6 months because of all the problems back and forth with the auditorium, the equipment disappearing, the microphone missing, and this has to do with another teacher at the school who feels that I'm a threat. And at the end of the day, I never started doing this because I wanted to be a threat to her. I started doing it because I felt like I had something special to offer the children. Not like she doesn't have anything special. I feel like we all come to the table, we all have something special to offer, and we should be given that opportunity to share it with the children.
I'm telling you that the big push now on children's television is teamwork.
Yes, collaboration.
Okay, teamwork, collaboration. And imagine, I had the luck to work with beautiful people like Mary O'Brien, Marie Burke, Mimi Holston, Craig Warnick, many wonderful people, where we had a school called Purdy Street Prep, where we worked together, and we saw kids who came there with single-digit scores end up, being successful and graduate. But that's because we had that team effort, and there wasn't that petty jealousy.
Yes.
And there was always
I
support.
so agree with you. I so agree with you. It's never about who's getting the credit. In my opinion, it's really about what you're doing. And is it moving the children forward? How do the children feel about you? And don't drag them into a hate campaign, because I think it's so sad today with all the hostility and things that are going on in the world that you would even think to incorporate a child into hating an educator because they're doing something like that.
I have a wonderful, funny story to tell you. At a school in which I worked, there was a teacher that called another teacher a leprechaun.
Interesting. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And they said, the story was, I didn't call you a leprechaun because they're short and cute. I called you a something else because, you're not that.
Wow.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, unfortunately, that's what the DOE has turned into. There's a
And these are
serious
teachers against each other,
There's a serious, well, basically it always has to do, in my opinion, with the school leaders, with who's the leader. Because to me, the way the staff conducts themselves, what they get away with, basically what you're allowed to do has to come from the top. And if you're not correcting behaviors and, this goes unnoticed that the microphone is missing when we have a performance to do, and this goes unnoticed that, you're talking to the parents and telling them negative things. The parents, unfortunately, don't they don't go above and beyond to find out the truth about things. They look at things on the surface and they listen to whatever is told to them. And, I was never that type of parent. I would always, whatever's going on, I would try to find out what's the real truth, But some people don't want to know the truth. They're comfortable.
But let me tell you, we talk about Marcus Aurelius and divide and conquer. And that is why I have seen some skillful school leaders divide the staff, divide people that
Unfortunate.
were working together wonderfully before they ever came there.
It's unfortunate.
And so they can conquer and manipulate them. Not only adults, children. I have seen children used against teachers. A trip down to Chambers Street at a McDonald's.
This is why I started blogging.
Hearing.
This is why I started blogging, okay, because I want to tell my story while I'm in the moment. I don't want to talk about it after the fact. So right now I'm establishing my platform with my blog site, which is...
Oh, tell me your blog site.
Yeah, my blog site basically is, the name of my book is, I brought it down from Educated Black Diva 13. I'm calling my blog site EDU, B Diva 13. It's ShellyMoniqueWhitfield.com, but I'm making sure I put my book in there because I want people to understand I'm an educated woman, my experience as a Black American educator, and I want them to understand that my courage is in my fight to make sure that I'm able to educate children about cultural arts, cultural awareness, cultural competence, building character in our students. My favorite educational philosophy is... if you teach them to love themselves, build confidence, and the learning never stops. Once children recognize what they're good at, how their strengths and weaknesses, the strengths seem to lead them on to better things.
Well, Shelley, I'm telling you, it's a pleasure having you here. Sure. And you know what? I would want you to run a school for me. But I realize something. So I see that you're strong, you're determined, you're educated, and sometimes the powers that be do not want that. They want somebody that they can kind of use, okay, or someone who's beholden, or someone that may have committed an offense in the past that they can always use that to hang over.
Well, we
all
have
heads.
a destiny. I'm a strong believer in faith. I'm trying to walk by faith, and I do believe that we all have a destiny, and the man up above is in charge, okay? No matter how much we think that we have to be beholden to somebody, I think that we all have our own divine reason for being here, and you have to go forward with that spiritual faith and belief in yourself and walk in grace with God, and He will lead you towards your true destiny. It is not about meeting other people's agenda. It's really about finding your destiny, living out your passion, okay, and doing what you have been anointed to do, in this lifetime. And that's how I'm moving forward.
Well, I just hope that there's some powers that be that see the energy that you have, the education in which you have, the commitment that you have to the children of the city of New York, and all of the qualities and the discipline, because that's one thing. I worked at a school where, the school leader was more undisciplined than,
Oh, wow.
okay. But nevertheless, all of those things, because discipline will keep us on the right path, you know.
What I
And
want,
I just
yeah.
hope that you get the right kind of
Yes,
opportunity to show
absolutely.
all of your skills.
Yes.
Okay, what would you say? What would you say to a potential philanthropist that wanted to open a school for the kids of the city of New York, and why would I hire you?
Okay. Well, you would hire me because I'm determined. I'm determined to get it done. At the end of the day, my mind is wide open for transformation of the current public school system. I think there needs to be some serious changes. I strongly believe that I'm a person who is not going to allow it to not get done. I'm going to make sure that it gets done and for the benefit of the children, for the community, okay, and for the families
And the future.
and the future.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Shelly Monique Whitfield, teacher extraordinaire, educator extraordinary. Thank you for being on Patricia's Potpourri. Miss Shelley, would you please come back again as a
Sure
guest?
will.
Oh, thank you
Sure
so much.
All
Very
right. It's so nice
interesting.
talking to you.
Oh.
Anytime.
Look at the one that made it, watching all the other ones. Oh! Look at that! Oh my god! Oh, they're trying so hard! No! They're giving up. That mom better come down the stairs. Far away is better. I get a view of all of them. Oh, they're doing it. Look at them. Some of them. Or she's just gonna leave them. Oh, the lad. There we go.